It was a day like any other at Lincoln High School. The bell had just rung, signaling the end of third period, and students were bustling through the hallways to make their way to their next class. Little did they know, this ordinary day would soon turn into a nightmare they would never forget. As students settled into their seats for fourth period, an announcement crackled over the intercom. "Attention all students and staff." The principal's voice echoed through the classrooms. "This is not a drill. We are now under lockdown. Please remain calm and stay in your classrooms until further notice." Confusion swept through the classrooms as teachers hurried to lock doors and usher students away from windows. Whispers spread like wildfire as rumors circulated about what could be happening outside those classroom walls. Hours passed with no updates, only the occasional muffled sound of footsteps echoing down the deserted hallways. The once lively atmosphere of the school now felt suffocating, each minute dragging on like an eternity. Suddenly, a loud bang reverberated through the building, causing everyone to jump in their seats. Fear gripped the hearts of students and teachers alike as they huddled together, praying for the nightmare to end. Outside, police cars lined the streets, their flashing lights casting an eerie glow on the school building. News crews gathered, desperate for any information on the unfolding situation. Meanwhile, inside the school, tensions were reaching a breaking point. With each passing moment, the fear grew more palpable, threatening to consume them all. Then, just when it seemed like things couldn't get any worse, a voice came over the intercom. It was the sound of relief they had been waiting for. "Attention all students and staff." The principal's voice crackled with emotion. "The lockdown has been lifted. You are free to leave your classrooms and return to normal activities." With a collective sigh of relief, students and teachers emerged from their classrooms, shaken but grateful to be alive. As they exited the school, they were met with tearful reunions and comforting embraces from worried parents. In the days that followed, details about the lockdown slowly emerged. It had been triggered by reports of a suspicious individual spotted near the school grounds. While the situation had been tense, thankfully, no one had been harmed. But for the students and staff of Lincoln High School, the memory of that day would linger long after the lockdown was lifted. It was a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of cherishing every moment, for you never know when it could be taken away in an instant. Maplewood High School was always bustling with activity, but one fateful day, the usual hum of chatter was replaced by a chilling silence that sent shivers down everyone's spines. It started innocently enough with the morning bell ringing as students filed into their classrooms, unaware of the horror that awaited them. Just as first period began, an ominous announcement crackled over the intercom, sending shockwaves through the school. "This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill. Maplewood High School is now under lockdown. Please proceed to your designated safe areas immediately and await further instructions." Panic swept through the hallways as students and teachers scrambled to follow protocol, locking doors and huddling in corners, their hearts pounding with fear. Outside, the sound of sirens filled the air as police cars and ambulances descended upon the school grounds. their flashing lights painting the scene with an eerie glow. Hours dragged by, each minute feeling like an eternity as they waited in darkness. The only sound the faint whisper of their own breath. Then, just when they thought it couldn't get any worse, they heard it, a low, guttural moan echoing through the halls, sending a chill down their spines. Whispers spread like wildfire as rumors circulated about what could be lurking outside their classroom doors. Some said it was a deranged intruder. Others whispered tales of restless spirits haunting the school halls. As the hours stretched on, fear turned to desperation, and desperation turned to hysteria. Students and teachers alike clung to each other, praying for the nightmare to end. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the announcement they had been waiting for came over the intercom. The lockdown has been lifted. It is safe to exit your classrooms and return to normal activities. Relief washed over them like a tidal wave as they emerged from their hiding places, their faces pale and their hands trembling. In the days that followed, the events of that harrowing lockdown would be etched into their memories forever. It was a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the darkness that lurks just beyond the safety of their school walls. And though they tried to move on, the echoes of that day would haunt them for years to come, a chilling reminder of the horrors they had endured. The air in Riverview High School was thick with anticipation as students hurried to their classrooms, the usual chatter punctuated by the sound of slamming lockers. Little did they know, this ordinary day would soon spiral into a nightmare beyond their wildest imaginations. It began with a faint rumble echoing through the halls, barely noticeable at first amidst the hustle and bustle of passing periods. But as the vibrations grew stronger, a sense of unease settled over the school like a heavy fog. Then, without warning, the intercom crackled to life, the principal's voice trembling with urgency. "Attention all students and staff," he announced. "This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill. Riverview High School is now under lockdown. Please proceed to your designated safe areas immediately and remain calm." Panic erupted as students and teachers alike scrambled to obey, the once orderly hallways devolving into chaos as they sought refuge in classrooms and closets, locking doors and barricading themselves in. Outside, the world seemed to hold its breath as police cars and ambulances swarmed the school grounds, their flashing lights casting eerie shadows against the walls. For hours they waited in darkness, the only sound the rapid thud of their own heartbeats. Time stretched on, each minute feeling like an eternity as fear gnawed at their insides. And then, just when they thought it couldn't get any worse, they heard it, a soft scratching at the door, followed by a low, guttural growl that sent shivers down their spines. Whispers spread like wildfire as rumors circulated about what could be lurking outside their sanctuary. Some whispered of a deranged intruder, while others spoke of something far more sinister, something not of this world. As the hours dragged on, fear turned to desperation, and desperation turned to madness. Students and teachers clung to each other, their prayers mingling with the darkness as they begged for the nightmare to end. Finally, mercifully, the announcement came. The lockdown has been lifted. It is safe to exit your classrooms and return to normal activities. Relief flooded over them like a tidal wave As they emerged from their hiding places, their faces pale and their eyes haunted in the days that followed, the events of that harrowing lockdown would be etched into their memories forever. It was a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the darkness that lurks just beyond the safety of their school walls. And though they tried to move on, the shadows of fear would follow them wherever they went, a chilling reminder of the horrors they had endured on that fateful day at Riverview High.